Good day, hi-ho kids, and welcome to our today's discussion. For today, our topic is all about pronouns. Pronouns are words that replace nouns. So instead of saying Marie, we can say she. Instead of saying Diego, we can say he. And instead of saying book, we can say it. But for today, we are going to focus on possessive pronouns. Possessive pronouns show ownership. I have here a table showing the ownership and the possessive pronouns. Let's talk about the possessive pronouns. Over here we have two columns. First is used with the object being owned. It means that after these pronouns, we can see the object owned by these pronouns. Later on, I will show you some examples. And on the other column, it says here, used without an object. Because whenever we use these possessive pronouns, we are not going to include the object after the possessive pronoun. Again, later on, I am going to show you some examples. Now let's talk about each possessive pronoun. Let's begin with the speaker. And we will use these possessive pronouns if the speaker is singular or only one. Let's talk about the first column, used with the object being owned. For this one, our possessive pronoun is my. And after the possessive pronoun, you can see there the object being owned by the pronoun. For example, in the first sentence, my bag is on the table. The object being owned is bag. On the second one, my pillow is on the bed. And the object being owned is the pillow. And on the other column, used without an object, we have this sentence. The bag on the table is mine. After the possessive pronoun mine, we now have a period, which means it is used without an object. Same as with the other one. The pillow on the bed is mine. Next is if the speaker is plural or more than one. Used with the object being owned, we will use our. Our house is simple. The object being owned is house. Our books are on the table. The object being owned are the books. And on the other column, used without an object. That house is ours. And the books on the table are ours. Next, the one spoken to. It can be singular, it can be plural. Used with the object being owned. Your dog is cute. And your bag is on the table. If it is used without an object, the sentence is going to be, that cute dog is yours. And the bag on the table is yours. Next, the possessive pronouns for female are her or hers. We will use her without an S if there is an object being owned. For example, her purse is nice. And her store is down that road. And we will use hers with S if it is used without an object. For example, that nice purse is hers. And the store down that road is hers. And if we're talking about male, we will use his for both. Next, for animal or objects, we will use its. Remember, if we will use its in the possessive pronoun, there is no need for an apostrophe. Next, more than one noun or plural. If it is used with the object being owned, we will use their, and if it is used without an object, we will use theirs. And as you can see on all of my examples, if it is used with the object being owned, the possessive pronoun is always at the beginning of the sentence, and if it is used without an object, it is always at the end of the sentence. Have you noticed that? Great! Here is the points to remember for our lesson for today. Pronouns replace nouns, and possessive pronouns show ownership. That is all for today. Thank you and goodbye, Hi Ho Kids!